Yes.
Hello, my name is Alba.
So we have, well, like I've introduced myself, okay? My name is Uwagboe Ogieva, and I'm from Nigeria, okay? So, and I'm here to give a little presentation about the Nigerian culture, okay? And like I said earlier, in Africa we have a lot of countries, okay? And Nigeria is one of the countries, and I'm from Nigeria. And Nigeria has a population of over 100 million people. So it's very populated, okay? And in Nigeria, we have different ethnic groups, ethnic groups. So, and in one of these ethnic groups is Edo, okay? We have about five major ethnic groups, and like Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, Edo, and many other ethnic groups. And in the ethnic groups, I am from Edo. Edo. See. Edo. So in Edo is situated in the southern part of Nigeria. Okay? So and in this place the Edo people, okay, Edo. The Edo people are from the ancient Benin Empire. Before now, we have the world, the ancient world was ruled by kingdoms, by empire, So, and from Nigeria, we have the Benin Empire that occupied the southern part of Nigeria, okay? So, and the Benin Empire were formed by the Edo people, by the Edo people. So Benin Empire had occupied this certain part of Nigeria. Okay, so they had their culture, they had their language, and they had traditions. They have customs, and they have a religion as well. You understand? So the Edo people basically is where I want to concentrate in this very class today. You understand?
Yes.
So, like, in Nigeria, we have, in the north, we have the Hausas, and mostly the religion of the north is Muslim, Islam. In the north is Islam. While in the south, we have the Christians and the traditional beliefs. You know what I mean? Traditional beliefs are like, we have different deities like Ogun, Shango, Olokun, and various types of deities. They understand what I mean by deity? Deities, gods.
Gods.
Yeah,
Deus.
gods. They have some gods. We call they also called deities. So the Edo people are from the ancient Benin Empire. Benin Empire that occupied southern part of Nigeria. So they have kings, they have queens, and most peculiar of these Edo people or Edo people is their popular bronze work. Bronze work. They were known to be very good bronze casters. Bronze, do they understand bronze? Bronze caster. Bronze. Bronze. No, I think they have it with bronze.
They can't.
Yes, you can show it. This can be shown. Good. Okay, good. So the history before and after Europeans, So in Africa today, the countries we have in Africa today, we are demarcated by the Europeans. You understand? So before the Europeans in Africa, most African territories were borderless. You know what I mean by borderless?
No borders, no,
Yeah.
no había fronteras.
See, so
No.
they were trading in between parts, but when the Europeans came, during the time of slave trade and economic interest, so and they had a meeting in Berlin where they demarcated African boundaries and territories. So the Nigeria we have today was structured and is a British colony.
British.
British colony. So before Britain, we had the Benin Empire, you know. So in Nigeria, the first Europeans to come to Nigeria were the Portuguese. The Portuguese, you know. So they traded with these Benin kings and kings and the Benin Empire, you know, because before Nigeria you had an empire, which is the kingdom that was existing there. So the Portuguese who first came, traded in palm oil, in rubber, in pepper, and and in slaves as well, you know. So, but then when the British came, so I think the game of the interest changed. You understand? So they first of all set up a Royal Niger Company, and from there, they had more interest. You understand? Of having more portion in the land. So they decide, to 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 merge the north and the south of Nigeria together to form one country. You understand? So that is how Nigeria came about. Nigeria was amalgamated 1914 by the Britain to form one country. You understand? And the south was taken away from, the Benin people. They had a war 1897 with the Benin Kingdom. They had a war with the Benin Kingdom 1897. Captured the king and submerged the Benin Empire into Nigeria. So before, like what I wrote here, the Benin people, some historians say that the Benin people are from the ancient Egypt. Like in the ancient Egypt, like we all know that Egypt is an ancient civilization of the world. So in the ancient time, some people migrated down towards not solo towards the north, towards the north where we now have the Romans, So that people also migrated from Egypt down south. So and most of them were also black Africans who were Egyptians who migrated down south. And those that migrated down south took the kingship, the monarchy system of the Egyptian civilization down south of Africa. So, like most scholars says that the Benin Empire, their structured and standardized way of monarchy was taken, and it came with them from the Egyptian civilization. I don't know if I'm making any point. Yeah. Came from the Egyptian civilization. While other scholars also argued that because the Benin people are so peculiar and unique, so maybe civilization started in Benin because, like in the old Benin, we had structures of the pyramid because the Egyptian civilization is known for the pyramids, but in Benin, some archaeologists came to West Africa to try to discover, some items relative to the Egyptian civilization. When they came to Benin, the ancient Nigeria, and in the south of Nigeria, they discovered that the Benin had a structure, the pyramid structure. That was a good example to show that there is probability that this Benin Empire of the Edo people had some time in history relationship with the Egyptian civilization. Most of this history are understudied, had some Egyptian civilization. And again, like you can see the structure of the king, like the structure of the king, and the same thing with the queen. So they have a kind of a crown, the crown, a kind of decorations that has similarities with the Egyptian civilization. So the Benin people or the Benin Empire or the Edo people, you know, have been traced by some scholars that from the Egyptian civilization. So in 1947, which is the first time the Portuguese came to the west bank of the west coast of Africa, because one important thing you all have to note is that in European history with Africa, Portuguese were the first and one of the best navigators in the Atlantic Ocean. You understand? So the Portuguese were the first people to move around, to move down west coast of Africa. You understand? So it's very important because Britain was far later. You understand? Today we are learning English. We are like, you know, subject to the English imperialism. But in reality, there were other Europeans like the Portuguese who were first to get into the high sea. You understand? To especially that of the West Africa. So and they traded with the Benin Empire. In 1497 was the first time the Portuguese arrived the west coast of Africa and in Nigeria and in the Benin Empire. Spain too came, the Germans came, the British later came, and one important thing we have to know about the Benin Empire or the Benin history is that in 1550 the Benin had an embassy in Portugal. They related with the Portuguese, so that was the time they built the first church. 1550, the first church in West Africa. The first church is called the Holy Arosa. These are history very important, you know, but most people in this part of the world don't know much about Africa. So it's a good opportunity, you know, directly from person from Africa explaining the history of Africa. You understand? So the first church built by the Portuguese in collaboration with the king of Benin was the Holy Arosa. And this is the church here. You know? That is the church there. You know? So, and the church was in a kind of a joint tradition, the African tradition and the Catholic religion. So it was not Catholic and it was not pure tradition. It was a mix, you know, of both. That aside, then slave trades too. In the Benin Empire, they were not selling their men for slavery. You understand? So the important thing is that, you know, in the ancient African culture, women were like, you know, they were like, they were not given much right as they have today. You know, so women were given, they were like house supports, you know. So, and in the time past, you know, so when the Portuguese came, the Oba of Benin, because the king is called Oba of Benin, so he will give out the women to them. You understand? So, because when the Portuguese bring gifts, bring everything like you see there, you know, so the king will give them women. You know, women was like a gift. I don't know if you understand me.
It's a present.
It's a present, you know, to them. So they take these women and they go. Though the Portuguese along the coast, because the king palace and where the king's city is a little bit at the hinterland. So, but the people at the bank of the river, you know, so the Portuguese was making opportunities, you know, so they were capturing some of the men at the bank, you know, who were like nobody, and they were taking them away like slaves. But in the hinterland, the king will never allow the slave to have been taken. You understand? So that's part of the slave. So quickly, where I want to let's quickly trash this history because so that we go to the culture of the Edo people. So the fall of Benin, yes. There is a festival celebrated by the Benin and the Edo people. Okay, it's called Igwe. 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 Festival. Okay, it's called Igwe. This Igwe is celebrated every year, every like the end of the year, which is December. Okay, so and it's a sacred and a very big festival. You understand? So during one of these festivals, the British people came that they want to see the Oba. Then the people told the British people that you cannot see the Oba during the festival because it's a sacred festival and nobody can see the face of the Oba. The Oba is the king. So, but the British people haven't surveyed the southern Nigeria, discovered that there was a lot of mineral resources. There was a lot of products which they can make use of because they can exploit, you know. So they were looking for a way to get the king and to get the Benin Kingdom subject to British or get a negotiation with the king of Benin. But they were finding it very, very difficult. So they decided to plan a provocation. You get my point? They knew very well that the king of Benin cannot see them during the festival. But they went during the festival. Do you understand me?
Yes.
They went during the festival. The people of Benin told the British that they cannot see the king. But the British went ahead. That no, Philip, the man who led the British convoy to the Benin Empire, told the Benin people that they want to see the king because they are coming from a long way. So the people told the British convoy led by Philip that they cannot see the king. They have to go back and come another time. But the British said they are not going back. They must see the king. They went ahead, and as they went ahead, they were killed. Yes, they were killed, and about two of them escaped, injured, you know, through the bush. And when they get in the bush, somebody helped them out. So they get to the shore, and they came back to England to report that the Kingdom of Benin have killed all their people, all the people, the British people that went to Benin. Then the British have to prepare for war. You understand me?
Yes.
They prepare for war now to bring the Benin down, which is called the punitive expedition. They call it the punitive expedition. Well, so after that, the British launched the war, they went with their ammunitions, and they fight the war against the Benin Empire, the Benin Kingdom. That is how the Benin Kingdom or the Benin Empire was burned down, destroyed, and British now took over the mandate of the Benin Empire. Then after taking the mandate of the Benin Empire by 1897, they installed their colonial administration, which is the British colonial administration. So I don't know if if they are understanding what I'm explaining.
Yes.
So that is how the Benin Empire fell to the British submission, and after that Nigeria was created. So like we can see, this is still talking about the history of the kings and of the Benin Kingdom and the Benin people. So I place this photo here just to emphasize the importance, you know, women plays in the role of Africa, because I feel it's also important, you know. When we are talking of the history of Africa, it's good we also point to the outside world that there were great women, you know. There were great women, even though, you know, it looks like women were being subjected, but in the history of the Edo people, there were great women, you know, that we have their names crested in our history books. These are the list of these women. The first one is Idia. Idia in 1555, you know, is the mother of a king. Before a king is installed, the mother, you know, a mother will be killed. You understand me? Before a king is installed, the mother will be killed. So, but in this case, when Esige, which is the name of my second son, you know, so Esige is a king. When he had a problem, he had a war. He wanted to fight a war, you know. So he was almost defeated. The mother came out and went, took the spada and went to the war front and fought the war. Woman went to the war that men couldn't win, and she fought the war with the soldiers, and she defeated the opponent. And when she defeated the opponent, so she came back and she was crowned and given the title, you understanding me, of Idia Niyesiye. You understand? So she was given a title for being a great woman ever in history to have gone to war, to fight a war for the kingdom, just to defend the Benin kingdom from falling to other kingdom. So till today, the symbol of the first tax symbol which the British they have in their museum, the head is the head of that great lady of woman called Idia Niyesiye. I don't know if you're understanding me. So Idia was a warrior. Then the second one is Emota. Emota is known as, like here you celebrate Valentine, no? Valentine, like 14th of February, So but in our history, we have a history too of a lady called Emota. She's the lady and mother of love, So the statue is in the center city of Benin, in the state. Anytime you visit, you will see her statue. She's called Emota. Emota saved the king from being assassinated. So, and since then, she is a symbol of love, a symbol of compassion. You understand me?
Yes.
So, Emota is a symbol of compassion, a symbol of love. And wherever the statue, men always go there, like maybe, like every man, they go there, they need, peace in their relationship, they want, some kind of progress, in anything that has to do with, their relationship, love, and all that. They go to her statue, like, to pray to her, to assist them, because she's a symbol of love and compassion. The other one is Emose Iroro. These were lady who governed. When the king, things was falling apart, this lady in their time were queens who led the kingdom. The last one was the queen that gave up her life to be sacrificed. Are you understanding me? So this lady, Queen Eden, gave up her life to be sacrificed. She was killed for the gods, for the kingdom to be at peace. There was problem in the kingdom, and they said somebody have to be sacrificed. And she came up and gave up her life for the kingdom of the husband to be at peace, to be sacrificed. So she's always remembered for sacrificing her life. Just when we talk about, like for example, the Bible, they say Jesus Christ come to die for us. There were people too who gave up their life in African history, like the Benin or the Edo history, who gave up their life for the kingdom to be at rest. So Queen Eden is worshipped, respected, remembered for a lady, a woman, a princess who gave up her life for the peace of the kingdom of the husband. So that's it. Then this place is just to show the bronze, agro products, and mineral resources. Well, the kingdom of the Edo people is known for good bronze artworks. So for example, can you go to Google so that you see a little bit of bronze work? Bronze, Benin bronze. Can you put it on Google so that we can see it here?
Espera. Ya.
Don't worry, we'll be coming to the very interesting part now. I'm through with the history.
Bronze?
Bronze, Benin bronze. Google.
Bronze.
Benin, B-E-N-E.
Okay, look. This one?
Vale. Oh, Benin bronze. Vale. O al revés. Bueno, sí. No, toca imágenes. Valley. So this is what we mean by bronze. Bronze, bronzes, artworks, material artworks. They were very, very artistic. I work in the tourist sector in Barcelona. So I take tourist people every day around Barcelona. So I know about Sagrada Familia, Museo Nacional, Parque Güell, a lot of Antonio Gaudi, a lot of work by Antonio Gaudi. Okay, because I see the artistic work of Antonio Gaudi. Okay, so and what's peculiar about Barcelona, since I've been working in the tourist sector, is the artwork. In some of the buildings. When you see the designs, especially when you get into the cathedral. Okay, so you look at the walls, you look at the way the artistic designs. So the Benin people were also very, very artistic. About these words. So this is what we're talking about. For example, when you look at some of the creatures, the handworks of the Benin people, so it's very, very creative and interesting. So Benin people or the Edo people were very, very good in bronze casting. Most of this bronze casting, when British fought the war against Benin, they went away with a lot of these bronze casting, and they sold thousands of it to pay, according to them, to pay for the war. You get my point? Most of these great Benin artwork are in the US, are in Germany, are in England, are all over the world, in many museums. Because at the time, British sold most of this work they got in Benin to the outside world, to pay according to them for the expedition. So Beninese are known for this bronze work, okay? So that is what I want to explain, that we have this artistic work of the Benin people as well. So we go to the agro product. Another thing you will see in Benin or in Edo, in Nigeria today, is agro products, agro product, because since Nigeria is past the equatorial, yeah, okay, good, yeah, it's okay. It's here, it's okay, we're okay here. So it's agro products, like platinums, we have a lot of, yeah, any question? Okay, good. So we have agro products too, because Nigeria, as you can see, the equatorial pass through the Nigeria. Okay, Nigeria is in equatorial. So and the equatorial have savanna, have the soil. It's fertile. So we don't need much fertilizers. We don't need much fertilizers. Sí, solo
son tierras muy fértiles.
Sí, que you just put a seed on the ground and it grows big. We have a lot of fruits. We don't have here. We have a lot of plants we don't have here. So it's a very rich and fertile. They have a very rich and fertile soil. So another important thing you have to know about south of Nigeria, the Edo people area, is oil, which is controlling the world economy today. You understand me? So I put this map here to explain why Russia, Britain, why at least even many European countries will find this territory very attractive, and they must be there. They will be there. Because it has a lot of pozo of oil. Like you can see here, all these red points. This is the center city, okay? This is the center city, okay? Now, if you check all these red points, they are gas field, oil fields, crude oil pipelines, okay? So you can see that all these dots are pozo de petroleum. Is filled with mineral resources. So it's such a part of the world that is so naturally endowed. But unfortunately, the people are still poor, or even beside all this. Okay, so that is why I put this here. Okay, so then we continue. Yes, we come into the interesting part now. Okay, so and we are going to try interact here. Okay, Yes, the Edo people, the greetings, the attires, and the food. Okay? Now, the greetings in the morning, the Edo people greet Lamogun. Lamogun. Can we say it? Lamogun. Yeah. La. Good. Lamogun. Yeah. When you see Ivy, you tell her Lamogun. She will smile. Okay? Lamogun. Lamogun is a greeting you greet in the morning. Yes. Good morning. Good morning is Lamogun in Edo. Okay? Good afternoon. Good afternoon is Obavan. Okay? Huh? Okay. Can we all say it? Can we all say Lamogun now? Again? 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 Okay. Then can we say this again as well? No? Eh? Oh, no. Eh? Huh? No. Oba. Yes. Obaba. Okay? Obota. It's evening. This is evening. This is afternoon. This is morning. Okay? Yeah? Yeah. Then maybe when you say hello, then you say koyo. Koyo is hello. Koyo. Okay? Koyo. Hello. Koyo. Oye, say oye.
Hello.
Okay? Boye. How are you?
How are you today?
How are you? Correct. Boye. Oye, say. I would say, koyo. Ihoe. Boye. No. Boye. Then the other one will reply, oye, say. Okay? Lamogun. Ihoe. Boye. Oye, say. Aye. Okay. Now, two person, for example, you come to the room. Okay, later you come. Koyo. Tiene que decir y.
Yo no quiero salir entonces.
Okay? Y.
No English.
Okay?
Okay.
When you say koyo, then yes, I hear. Okay? I hear you. Then when you say koyo, the other one will respond and say, I hear you. Then you will not ask, how are you? Then she will respond, I'm fine, thank you. Okay? Koyo. Boye. Correct. Go and sit down. You tried. Okay? Koyo. Boye. Oye, say. Okay? Oye says, I'm fine. Okay? Oye say is, I'm fine. Right? Koyo. Boye. Oye say, muy bien. Oye say, correct. So that is introduction, okay, to the language. Okay? That's the greetings. The greetings is Lamogun, Obavan, Obota. Can we say it again?
Lamogun, Obavan, Obota.
Correct. Oof. Mira, anytime you see maybe a Nigerian person and you say, oh, Lamogun, oh me, it's like, you make him feel so you make him feel so good. He will grab you, You understand? Or
yes.
Maybe you have a friend from Africa, or maybe you have a guy,
I'm from Barcelona.
You understand? For example, or you see a black guy, you say, where are you from? Say, well, I'm from Nigeria. Then you say, Koyo. You see? So you draw his attention, you know, his emotion. You don't need to say anything again. So he will want to go with you and he want to know more. Hey, how you know that? You know? So yeah. So Koyo, that's the greetings, okay? Then the attire, I put this photo here, okay? Now for if you want to dress, okay, like the queen, a lady, to see a lady like a queen, this is the way they dress, okay? So the lady, they put these beads. This beads is very, very precious, very, very important, you know, to an adult person, to the adult people. Because, you know, as a woman, when you dress like this, all my eyes, you know, they are on you. You know, yeah, because they see you like, you know, more than the Queen of England, you know. Yeah, their eyes on you and say, such a beautiful lady, man. You know, because this is the way the queen, the lady, they dress. You know, because this beads is called Ivier, which is the name of Ivier. Okay?
Okay.
Okay? So Ivier means the precious bead, the precious, a very important bead in the language. So that is why her name is called Ivier, as a very precious bead, precious material. Okay? So it's very important. So they put this on the head. Basically, this photo is just to show a typical traditional way what a woman of Edo dress in Nigeria. Get a point. So and it's very, we have so many European women when they come, you know, they dress like this, you know. In fact, an African man, if you happen to get close or you know a black person and you dress like this, oh, he want to eat you everything. You know? Yeah. He want to, oh, you know, so he feel very proud. You know, especially when you are like this and she is going with you, you know. In fact, oh, let no other man talk to you because it's a big problem. It's a big problem, big one. So that is it. And in the traditional marriage, okay, they have to dress like this. The ladies have to dress like this. If you want to do a traditional marriage, that is another long explanation another time. So it's a very interesting celebration. Very interesting celebration. To marry an adult person with the ceremony, it's a very interesting celebration. With all the form and everything, the dressing and everything, the tradition, what the lady have to do, the man have to do, you know, so it's a very interesting. But the important thing here is what I want to display is the attires, the way she dressed, you know. So she dressed like this, just like you have the Jewish people have their culture, the tradition, the way they dress, you know, like the Irish people, they have the way they dress. The Edo people too have the way they dress. So I put this picture here too to see how when a European lady dressed like an African woman, you know. So this is the traditional dress. But these are other type of dressing you can also have. She can put on the African style. The African women or the African attires has a lot of color. No? So they have a lot of coloration in most of their dressing, you know. So that is their culture, the way, you know. And most of the Senegalese and other parts, they dress like this, you know. Yeah. So they dress like that. And this shirt was bought from Senegal, you know. So, but the Edo queen and princess, she must go this way, you know. So when my father come from work and my mother just take a bath and she dressed like this, my father, you know, she's, you know, she's like, he's a big man, you know. He's a big man because she has a queen now by the side. You know, women, you know, make men feel very big, you know. You know, a man who don't have a lady, you know, it feels and live different. But a man with a lady, you know, must have some ego, you know, have some ego and feel very, very big and high, you know, especially when she's like this. So that is it. So just to show you how you an African lady princess look like?
¿Pero qué es eso?
Edo is ethnico.
Sí, es la ethnic group.
The ethnic group. Where from? South of Nigeria.
Bueno, pues allá sí.
South of Nigeria. They are the same people as the Benin.
Tiene que estar su-
To see more of these pictures, Google, right? Google.
¿Gobo?
Here, Google. We're in the interesting part now. You will like this part. And I would have loved to come with the dress, everybody dressed like that, and I take the picture. You take it home. Edo.
Ah, sorry.
Just write Edo. The space, Edo, traditional.
This one?
Correct.
Wow.
Okay? These are different ways. Okay? Different ways. The dress, you know. They have every time this big, this EVA.
Todo rojo.
Yeah, because the symbol of Edo is white and red. The symbol of Edo is white and red. So they always dress like this, and as you can see with this, I have this at home. So they dress like this. So this is the way women look appreciative in the Edo culture, and as a princess. I know that if you dress like this, wow, beautiful. So that's the way the dress. So we go to the other side. Now this is the food aspect. Okay?
Qué hambre.
So you see?
Yeah.
So we have ema, we have unwe, we have egusi, we have plantain, you know. Attires, now we go to the food, the right Nigerian food. Yeah, we have ema, we have unwe, we have obobo. Obobo is made from we have batatas, no patatas. Okay? Yam. Can you write yam? Yam here for now. One moment. Yam. Why? No. Why? Y.
I see.
A-M. Okay, good. This is the yam we have.
Un moniato.
No,
See, no.
sorry.
This is boniato. Okay.
Yes.
But this one no. Okay, so we have it in my cabana. We have it. They are selling it now. So it's like potato. I mean patatas, but the big one. So we call it batatas, not patatas.
Eso que hay ahí.
This one.
Here is called
Dale. Batata. Batata.
no patat con B.
This one.
Batata.
This one, batata.
This batata.
Yeah.
Bueno. The other one is but it's not here. They import it from Africa. They import it from
Estas
Africa.
no son.
Es como patatas, pero es batata, pero más grande, más grande. We have cocoyam as well. We have this here, but this one is not here too. It is cocoyam. This is what I mean. Yam. Okay? So it's very good, Rico. It has some good sugar taste as well.
Está bueno.
Natural sugar. Yeah. If you want something,
Ya es la hora del patio.
Okay, that's it. So the rest you can quickly, just 5 minutes, we round it up. So yeah, the language, we have already tasted the feed. Like I wrote here, you can share the documents. So the festival, the Uwagboe, the tourist site is where you visit home, and you can ask any question.
Can I share this PowerPoint with them?
Yes, of course.
Because she wanted to write something about the language. So
El video
I
está
will share.
Well, I didn't write this one here.
Well, I will say Evie
Okay.
to write there because Miriam like it.
Well, do you see? Is it okay?
Yes.
You like it?
Yes.
So you want African
Delia.
a little bit? So the way the girls, the queens, the dress, the food, the language, so it's a very interesting.
Esto está funcionando.
See?
Vale, pues.
Well, hope to see you again.
¡Bravo!